Now, it may or may not come as a surprise to you that this guy, this guy, this guy, how did this get in there? And this guy are excited that Splatoon 3 comes out very soon. We're only a few weeks away, so today on the channel, I want to talk about the 5 reasons why I and why you should be hyped for Splatoon 3. But before we get into the video, let me know, are you picking up Splatoon 3 day one? If so, leave that comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a lot more Splatoon 3 content coming out. I've already taken the first 2 days of launch off of work, and I'm going to be cranking those videos out along with some live reacts to some of the presentations that we'll have on September 9th and 10th as well. Jumping right into the countdown, reason number 1 to be hyped for Splatoon 3, the new weapons that are involved in the game. One of the first weapons that we saw in the new Nintendo Direct for Splatoon 3 was a Splatland exclusive weapon called the Stringer. Now this is clearly a bow and arrow, but the way that it plays looks to be like a mix between one of the shorter range weapons and a charger itself, so you kind of get to choose between whether or not you're shooting short range or long range. I think this opens up a lot of fun play styles, and I'm very much looking forward to see how this weapon plays out. And now for my favorite weapon out of the Splatoon 3 Direct, the Splatana. This to me looks like the answer to everyone trying to use the roller as a sword using the jump attack, but this time you don't have to jump. You can choose between a short wide attack or a long range swing attack. You can even charge the attack to do more damage, but really this plays into the stealth style in my opinion, and I think it's going to pair really nicely with certain special weapons, and I'm very much looking forward to playing this game. You can catch me day one wielding a Splatana in Splatoon 3. We didn't get a whole lot of information on the special weapons in the game, but 2 that really stood out to me. 1 appears to be a freaking crab tank. You just ride it around and you shoot ink out of it, but it's a crab. We don't know a whole lot about it. It looks real sick, but one we got to see a little bit more was the Reef Slider, and this is what I'm really excited about. The potential to pair this up with a Splatana to just charge into battle like your freaking Reinhardt from Overwatch, let it explode, take out a couple of people, and then use your Splatana to clean up the rest of the group if you can catch people close enough together. I think that's going to be a very cool combo if you can pull it off well, and if it's possible, if I have access to it early on, this is going to be my preferred play style until I find out whether or not it's good. Splatoon 3 hype reason number 2, more customization. Now, in past games, customization has been a big part of what makes the Splatoon community so great. Whether it's doing a squid party in the middle of a game, or setting up some kind of postcard to show off your ridiculous art or some kind of funny joke that you thought of. There have been a lot of different ways to express yourself in-game, and it brings a lot of life to the game itself. But Splatoon 3 has taken that even a step further, and honestly, I'm really excited to see what everybody brings to the table when it comes to this. So on top of the previous customization options such as clothing and postcards, they've now added in lockers, which at first seemed like it might just be kind of a throwaway thing, but then they started showing all the different items you can get. They literally added in its own store where you can go and buy these items to put in your locker. They snuck in a lot of cool references. They're basically Furbies in the game, in case you're like my wife and you're super into Furbies. They even have cursed long Furbies for whatever reason. But there's a lot of different things to show off your personality, and I'm excited to see how people take the opportunity to either meme it up or have really cool looking lockers. And this is something that I personally think that I'm going to go through and check all the different lockers that I see, just like I checked all the different postcards in Splatoon 2, because you never know when you find something cool or funny or just really incredibly artistic. There's a lot of expression in that, and I think that some people are going to be surprised with how well it gets utilized in the game. We also got in-battle customization options such as like nameplate designs. We have opening and winning taunts so that you can kind of customize the way that you celebrate in the game which is something I didn't even think that I wanted until I saw it, and then I realized, hey, that's very cool. I'm excited to see what the potential options are for there, especially when you think of games like Fortnite, where you have people doing like crazy dances or, you know, doing very iconic poses, things like that. When they win, we now have the potential for that in Splatoon 3 as well. Nintendo, let me jump into a warp pipe when I win. That's all I'm saying. With 2 years of bonus customization options already planned out for the future of the game, I think this is an easy win and something people are really going to enjoy about this game. Now for Splatoon hype reason number 3, the card battle. Now whether it's card games and video games, like the one in Final Fantasy XIV currently, or real life cards in this big stack of Digimon cards that I just have hanging out on my desk, they were upside down. I'm a big fan of card games, and I have been basically since Pokemon back when I was a kid, when I was like freaking 8 years old. So it's really cool to see Splatoon adding a card game into it, and honestly, I think that I'll be spending a lot of time playing this game. Whether it's with friends or just playing with random people online, I think this is going to be a really good time. I like that the cards are all based off of different Splatoon weapons and that they place down a shape similar to the Splatoon weapon itself on the field, and I like the idea of having this simulated turf war be the card game. In all reality, the map honestly kind of reminds me of Dungeon Dice Monsters way back when, which was a really weird Yu-Gi-Oh spin-off that didn't quite take off, but I personally enjoyed it. I even own the Game Boy Advance game for it and still play it from time to time. But it seems like Nintendo is all in on this card game. I believe the original set said it has over 150 cards, and when they say that the original set, it kind of makes me think they're going to be adding more in the future, which would be really cool if as they add weapons, those weapons get their own cards as well. I'm curious to see where this goes, or see if there's any kind of prizes to playing the game and being good at it and moving up the ranks in it. I guess only time will tell, but I'm very excited for this, and hopefully you are too. Splatoon hype reason number 4, triple threat Splatfests. This time around, it's as if Teddy Long himself became the GM of Splatfest and announced that this one was gonna be a triple threat, playa. Holla holla holla. It's stupid, it's stupid. Starting with the first Splatfest at the end of this month, every Splatfest is going to have 3 options. The first one being paper, rock, scissors. I personally think I'm going to choose Team Rock, so if you want to join me, there you go. But the way it's going to work is we're still going to have our traditional 4v4 teams, where all 3 teams are competing against one other team in the matches for the first half. But the second half, the 2 teams that are losing are going to be in a 2v2v4 match, kind of teaming up but also still competing against each other to take on the team that's in the lead and try to see if you can dethrone them. I kind of like this idea. It brings a very new, very cool variation to what we've known Splatfest to be in the past, and I'm curious to see if people decide to team up and try to avoid killing each other to take out the number 1 team, or if it ends up just being pure chaos because there are 3 teams and really nobody is safe in that instance. And now it's time for the final reason and the thing that has me the most hyped about Splatoon 3, city invasions. Now let me set a scene for you. It's 2006, you're a Final Fantasy XI player. The new expansion has just come out and you just got to the new city in the game, and all of a sudden you get a cutscene. And in this cutscene, everybody is getting ready, they're picking up their weapons, they're preparing, because all of a sudden monsters have busted through the front gate and now they're actually in the city and they're looking to fight you. At the time, this was something revolutionary. It had not been done before, and it was so exciting. It was always fun to do, kind of scary, but it brought a really nice change to the game. Fast forward to 2022, and now Splatoon 3 is about to do the exact same thing with a variation of their salmon run, and that variation is called Big Run. Now, we don't know a whole lot about Big Run yet, but what we do know is that it's going to happen every few months, and that it's a salmon run that happens inside the city. This leaves a lot of possibilities. I hope they make it seem immersive when it pops up. I hope that you do just walk through the city and all of a sudden you get the cutscene and all of a sudden chaos. I think that that could be really cool for a lot of players, and I really hope that they go that route just to really enhance that experience for all of us in the next game. What was your favorite part of the Splatoon 3 Direct? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and always remember, don't get cooked, stay off the hook.